Hey you guys, welcome to another episode of The Goddess Room. So I know it's been a few weeks, but I really appreciate the 9 views that we done got so far. So that means that people is listening and watching. So I'm really excited. But girl, listen, girl or boy, let me not do that. I'm really so it's gonna give excuses, and I don't mean to be giving it, but it's been a while since I real life had I haven't done sit down videos and had to actually plan to do these things since the panorama. So used to back in the day, I used to do my makeup on the weekends, my cluster film days was Saturdays. And so I do my makeup or whatever, and there would be a makeup tutorial. And then I would film 2 additional videos after that. And one of those would be considered a sit down video. But with the way the times have gone, and I haven't really done sit down videos like that. So I've been so trained and things for vlogs, and vlogs is technically a lot easier for me because I works, honey. And pretty much I can just pick up the camera spontaneously and film when I am doing something that I feel like is camera worthy, and then put them all together, and then you have your vlog. However, podcasting, I have to obviously sit down because we talked about me doing it audio style, and I felt like I was just talking to the air, even though I'm still talking to myself, but I can see me, and then I can see that y'all are listening and watching, and so that's how that works. And so now I'm just trying to fit podcasting into my content days, which are typically Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so I'm thinking that Tuesdays might have to be podcast days, get that out for y'all same day, and then Thursdays be editing the vlog. The only time that this may be a little hard to do will be Vlogtober and Vlogmas. But honestly, I probably will have to film me doing that, and that'd be part of my day. So that's what's happening. But as soon as I was setting it up, I really wanted to get my natural lighting. Why buy a ring light if you're not gonna use it for real? It's the putting it up. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And then on top of that, last week I ain't do no work. And of course my husband is on his way back, and he not gonna walk through this door while I'm trying to podcast. We'll see. So matter of fact, let me hold on. Okay, so on top of before, school has started. We're almost a month in, and child, school is schooling. It's real stressful. It's a lot happening. That's gonna be a whole separate podcast in itself. All I got to say is being a parent of a neurodivergent child is real interesting. It's a lot of advocating, and then it's also a lot of realization. And trying to decipher what is neurodivergent and what is just misbehaving. And so it's been a lot. And so in parenting, life is life. Life is what was said. On the other hand, I was busy last week because I wasn't doing no work, because I just celebrated So how come that went off? You see what I'm saying? Hold on again. Now, the thing is, if this was a vlog, I would have kept all of that in there. But it's a podcast, and y'all not looking for me to be having technical difficulties. So I'm going to have to edit that out. But anywho's, so I just celebrated 3-year wedding anniversary. And so my man was on vacation, I was on vacation, and my son was at school. And so I was with my man. And I wasn't studying no podcasts because I was enjoying being booed up. You get what I'm saying? But also with that, it was a wonderful break. It was a wonderful time that low key, I used to and I'm talking about I used to, I've been married for 10 years, claiming it. But I used to feel a way because I was going somewhere ideally, for our anniversary has to be perfectly planned out, because here school starts late August. And our anniversary is like second week of September. So he really only been in school for like a good 3 weeks. And I don't feel comfortable like just packing up and bouncing with the school year being so new. And we don't have family around here. We do have like our village or whatever, but I don't want to put like, it would have to be a little like one to come back, like not really a whole week situation, because I just don't feel comfortable like putting that type of, although we do that, let's be clear, I don't feel comfortable like with them also adapting to the new school year, saying, hey, can you also take my son to school and make sure he do his homework and like watch him while I'm on frolicking on the islands and things with my man. Now, granted, it could be a quick little weekend number, but it's just really not conducive to it right now. And so, it's given we're gonna have to take a trip like when he like a teen. I don't know. But that, I used to feel bad about it. But then also at the same time, when you do a staycation and you really could just like enjoy each other, and in those hours that like it's school hours, you really can just be you two. Like, we don't have to be parents. We don't have to worry about the hustle and bustle of work. It's just us for these 8 hours that he in school. And baby, we was loving it. When I tell you, we was up here having nap dates, okay? We was going to brunch. We was outside and we was having a great time, and we was all giggling and things like we first started going together. And I feel like that's really, really important, because we've been together like total 11 years. We've been married 3. And so I really feel like it's really a beautiful thing. And I was just telling him this, like being with somebody for that long. Like when he met, first of all, he met me before we worked together. At what we call, it's Food Line, but what we used to call the Shitty Kitty. And he met me, I believe I was definitely 21 when we first started working at the same store together. And baby, he seen me when I was in my prime in college, living my best life, turning up, coming to work, being mad hungover. He seen me being very lit in the club. And so in real reality, nobody can real life go and tell my man about what I did in my past, because he seen it and he still wanted me. Because I enjoyed college, as I should. I don't regret a thing. And so that's a beautiful thing. And then also, like, we were like I was in my young 20s. He's older than me. I mean, you know. But just watching us grow, and from being in our 20s and now going into, you know, mid 30s and like really maturing, and just seeing that growth is a beautiful thing to see. Because like some people are able to say they married their high school sweetheart or their college sweetheart. And I was sitting here like, well, dang, I don't have that. But I mean, although I didn't have that, but I still have those years and that time, like, invested in, where we've been together a decade. So you seen me in my young days, and you seen me mature into this woman that you have now. And it's a beautiful thing, and vice versa him. And I was just telling him that I was like, right now is like a really sweet area right now, because we've been through each other, like watching each other grow. But also it really speaks to what marriage truly is that you literally are like a student to your spouse, because people change. They're going to grow, and they're going to outgrow things, and they're going to do different things. And you're going to have to continue to learn them as they navigate life. So what they used to like over here when they was in their 20s, they might not like in their 30s. And then you be like, darn, who is this person? Now I got to learn this person again. Like, it keep it fresh, but it can be, and that's where the work come in, because in your mind, you like, I should know this person. I should know everything about him. And to be clear, they shouldn't be a complete stranger. But you're never going to, there's always going to be something new to learn about somebody. Like, I learned, like, he put avocado, he got an omelet that had avocado on it. I was like, and when did you start eating avocados? He was like, oh, I do it from time to time. You don't say. Interesting. Okay. Like, as far as me when it comes to drinking, like, to be completely honest, I'm not down with the hard drinking no more. You can give me a glass of wine. Or you could get me smooth like a Coke and a wit, something smooth, like a Jameson, something smooth. I don't want it to be nasty for real. But I can't drink fruity stuff, can't be sick. So what I'm saying is it needs to be easy to go down actually. But then also not too much is what I'm saying. Because in real life, like, I'm a lightweight and I'm okay with that. Because guess what? I'm real grown and what am I trying to prove? Who do I have to prove to that I can drink? Because at the end of the day, who gonna be hurt tomorrow? Not these people I'm over here trying to shot for shot with. That's gonna be me. And so guess what? I don't care that I'm only gonna do a 2-drink minimum, maybe, and I'm gonna space some things out. Cause I don't like to be hungover. Because hungover means it's gonna take me 2 business days. And so I drank on Friday. So I ain't gonna be well to Tuesday. I don't have time for that. I don't. I don't. And so he's okay with me not wanting to like shot. But then occasionally I'll be like, I mean, we gonna get lit or what? Occasionally, not too much. Cause if I'm gonna get that lit, I also need my liquid IV and I need a meal. You feel what I'm saying? Because when I go to bed, I don't want the room to spin. Because that's not a good night's sleep for me. And so he okay with that. And as long as he okay, it don't matter. Because guess what? Who gonna have to take care of me if I'm doing bad? That'll be him. And so he okay with the fact that I don't want to drink too much. And that's okay. And so it's when people ask about marriage, I'm not even gonna front and shoot the shit with you. I cuss and I hope y'all don't mind. But I feel like if you watch my videos, you know that. But I'm not even gonna play with it and pretend and act like marriage ain't work, but it is. But that's not to say that that's a negative thing per se. It's just like, it's not gonna always be easy. And people have to remember that. Like, therapy, and I'm gonna get into that in another podcast. Therapy, honestly, I went into therapy thinking that I was just gonna be like trying to fix me per se, and that was it. And I need to stop saying fix because I'm not broken. To be in a self-discovery on me, right? Because it's a personal situation, but also me going to therapy has been very, very helpful to my marriage because it's helping me see things that it helps me see things that are also adding to some of the issues that may be going on in a season that marriage ain't like all roses in that moment. And I didn't realize that I also was not saying that I was thinking that I was like the angel and I don't do no wrong, but also it helps to bring visualization that you like, oh man, like I do contribute to this as well. And that maybe if I change this because my mindset is different, then I can all I can do is control me and how I show up to the situation. And so if my mind is different because self-discovery, then I can kind of control a little bit how the situation is going just by watching some of the things that I say and realize, and just being more aware of saying things like, oh, I realize, and honestly, a part of it, like when you have went to the school of petty and graduated top class, and I am heavy on matching energy. Some of the tactics that she gives to kind of help when we're having a disagreement is really screaming like petty to me. And so it makes me a little nervous because my husband is also petty, but I'm more pettier than him, and it stick a little harder and it pisses him off, but then it also pisses me off. And so I'm like, but is this really going to work? Because I don't know if this is going to work for us. But then you also brought, like, when you start, like I say, like I anybody that knows us, I do have a very short fused husband. It just is what it is. It don't take much. He is, and we're off. Like, and a lot of times I'd be like, I'm real confused right now because I don't even know how we got here. But also, I'm gonna do my best to stay down here, but there's only so much before I'm up here with you. And so I'm trying to tell you that I'm really right here, but I want to be up here. And so I'm like, and she made a thing that was like just stopping and to acknowledge and just acknowledging what is real life happening in the moment helps. And I saw it de-escalate for real. Like, I was like, I noticed that your energy has changed and I may have offended you, but I didn't know. And that was not my intent. And I watched that man de-escalate and I said, you don't say. 11 years and I've been matching energy with this man and this is what I needed to say? Interesting. So I've learned a lot. And I've also learned that me and my husband are two very, very passionate individuals. Like, when it comes to something that we're both very passionate about, we speak very passionately about it. And just because our disagreements may not be on volume 2, like other people, we may be at volume 8. And from far, people might be like, they are not doing well, but we're just fine. Because in real reality for us, it's when we stop talking, when we're not talking about anything, that actually we're doing worse for us. And so to each his own. And so by no means do I ever try to act like I'm the marriage guru, because baby, my marriage is a full-time job and I don't have the bandwidth for anybody else's but mine. Because at the end of that day, I wish everybody well on their marriages, but if we're going to choose which ones is going to stay, it's going to be mine. If we're going to choose where I'm going to give my last bit of energy to, it's going to be mine. And so I'm not coming up here at all acting like the marriage guru, because I'm not. I'm still very much learning. But however, when I do find things, if anybody is also going through things that I may be going through, that I'm going to share with the people. And so it was good to know that in my head, I used to think that because we had disagreements, that it meant that my marriage was not okay because other people aren't arguing. So I thought. But argument doesn't mean that our relationship isn't working, because we're communicating. The issue is, if at the end of all this communicating, whether loud or soft, if we are being disrespectful to each other, being physical to each other, which we're not, but I'm just saying that's where it goes left. And then at the end of the day, there is no end goal and there was no solution. We was just yelling to be yelling. Then that may be a little bit different. But so I had to look at things different and realize actually there's growth on both of our ends, because there was a time, child, we was gonna be talking about this for a long time. And at the end of the day, there was no resolution. We just talking. And so we have to remember that we are on the same team. And a lot of times we be so mad that we be saying the same things, but you so mad you can't hear that that's exactly what you just said, and he can't hear that's exactly what you just said. And so y'all really saying the same thing, but y'all are, and it's funny actually, outside of the moment, that y'all arguing, but y'all said the same exact thing. But one person is just trying to say it so they can say they had said it. But that's really how it is. And it's really two imperfect people who choose to be together. And so he knows you're not perfect and you know you're not perfect. And that's all you can do. And so going year 3, like I thought year 2 was definitely learning and realizing that some things aren't worth the fight for real. But then some things are, whether they may be small to the other spouse. But if it really is laying heavy on your heart, then you don't need to hold it in just because he or she may think that it's petty. But if it's important to you, then you need to get it out. And so that's part of my self-discovery, because I feel like I have groomed myself to pick battles so much that I was making him more happy because I wasn't saying anything. But in turn, I was unhappy and resentful because I wasn't saying anything. So as long it's different if you're like choosing your battles and both hearts and minds are cool, but it's not okay if you are choosing not to choose the battle, but you mad for real. And so that's that. And so I've learned that I'm learning to still have my voice, but then I'm also learning to communicate and advocate for myself by saying, in this emotional time, I would rather hold off on this conversation because it bothers me real bad where there's so much I wanted to say, but because my emotions was up here, I said absolutely nothing of what I wanted to say. And so now those are the things that's keeping me up at night, because I should have said da-da-da-da, but I couldn't think and I didn't say that, and now I'm mad. So let me recollect my thoughts and then let's talk about it. Now, I just finished the book Marriage Be Hard, and my God, it was a wonderful book. OMG. First of all, because I listened to their podcast and I read that whole book in their whole voice. It was amazing. It has wonderful conversation starters. There are some difficult conversations in there. But I got them bookmarked in my phone for us to have check-ins, and we just talk about those things because, like, a good relationship, a good marriage isn't good just because you aren't talking about things. In fact, it's like just like knocking problems underneath the rug. And then folks wonder why 20, 30 years later, folks has been mad, but y'all been had these issues. Y'all just never talked about it. And that it's okay to have difficult conversations because at the end of the day, we still love each other at the end of that. And so again, that goes back to just being, we're on the same team, but sometimes on the same team, we got different methods of how we want to play the game. And so we got to find that common ground, and it's okay to disagree, agree to disagree. So that's kind of something that I have, my takeaway from year 2. I also have learned that, to be honest, we have been in some more stressful situations, and we have learned to get through those by communicating and working as a team, and that has been wonderful. So at a time where things were a little bit more stressful, and that I would be like, so this is stressful over here, and then we probably not gonna be okay too, and it's too much, and we really haven't been that way, and that's been really great. So also marriage is fun as well, as long as you guys are still being true to who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still should be able to have friends outside of your marriage, but also have time for each other. So that was really great, going back to our vacation where we spent like mad time together. And so the weekend he was ready to be outside, and I was like, okay, please go, because I want to watch TV. This was great, but I want to lay in the bed and watch TV now. So it's kind of like, as long, I feel like the fun times for us is when we both realized that we didn't have to be old people, like old married couples. Like, I want to be your best friend. Like, we could take a shot. Like, we could drink and cut up and do fun stuff. I don't want you to think that we got to be like boring, because no. And you can still have your friends outside of me. Please do that. And because it still allows you to be different people outside of the marriage and then come back and nobody feels trapped. And I think that has been very helpful as well, where he didn't have to feel like he had to be this different person, because he still like to be in the club, and that's okay. I'm not interested. But you do you, boo. As long as you done gave me my time, and you done we done did family time, and the house good. Because the real reality is, I ain't got to worry about him being out all night, because that's not it. Because there's a certain time that he would like to come in and go in the bed. And so I ain't worried about it. I'm not worried about him not coming home, because he is. And I'm not worried about him being, all in folks' face, because, baby, listen. He there for the music. He's a DJ. And so it's just like, let people be their own different people, but just have those boundaries that you're like, these are my non-negotiables. As long as we meet in that, then I'm good. But also on the other day, when I want to go out with the girls, as long as we ain't got no problems, then we're also good. And so, like I said, that's something we've been navigating, and it's been a lot easier because our schedules are more in line. There was a time when I was real happy when we didn't work the same shifts. I would work, the morning shift, and he would kind of work like second shift, and that we weren't home every night together. There was a time that I was okay that he wasn't home, at 5 o'clock with me every night. There was a time. I mean, and it'd be like that. And because I felt like I could work. We were on a schedule as far as homework. I would cook, and then he would mommy duties. I've clocked out his mommy duties, and I had that alone time, and I got in the bed, and then I was in the bed when he got home, and he had his alone time, and then on his days off, we was like, oh, babe. But then also, now that we are on the same schedules, and I actually have every evening home together, I surprisingly am very appreciative of having him home. during that time, because I also realized that it does take a lot of the weight off of me, as it relates to things that have to get done. And so when I've got, I'm trying to do homework, okay, he got dinner, and then I'm doing laundry, and then he's, doing other things. And so it's really like we can actually get the household things together done quickly. And then we also can have couple time, but then also I'm about to go lay in the bed because I want to watch Netflix, and you don't want to watch what I watch, but then you also want to watch what you want to watch. And that's why we got 3 different TVs in the house, so that everybody can depart and watch what they want to watch and not be up under each other. And that's how we be okay. Because we understand that we need to separate and have alone time, but then we also like to be together. And because we're not all up, and we know what time it is, he know when I start looking like I need a minute, that I need a minute for real. like he went to the store. He went to the store and I ain't go with him. Because guess what? That's a long time. And if you want to go to the store and look around Walmart for forever, cool. Because on the weekdays, I don't like to be in the store for real. I like to come home because I got stuff to do. On the weekends, I'm outside. During the weekday, not so much. And so you just got to know, you got to know these things, because these people are these people, and sometimes making them change doesn't always make it better, because then it makes them uncomfortable. And so we got to find a happy in the middle. And yeah. So I'm really looking forward to year 3. It's in and seeing what marriage holds and being in this thing for the long run. And we're just going to continue to go through every day and know that there's going to be different seasons of your marriage that may not be as well as you like, but that doesn't mean that it's over. And there is no such thing as a perfect marriage, because who are we comparing it to? Because what works for your marriage is not going to work for mine, and vice versa. And so though you may have married friends and it's really easy to bounce off ideas, but those are just that. But that doesn't mean that that's the end all be all, just because that works for you. And if we decide to do things differently, that don't make us no less married, because the legal documents say differently. Period. So that's that. Recommendations. I just did the Marriage Be Hard 10 out of 10 book. Definitely think it's great for married people. And honestly, really serious relationships, it wouldn't be a bad idea to read it, because it definitely opens your eyes. It may be a little hard to relate to all the things, but not all of them. I mean, but I feel like it's prep for marriage if that's where your mind is going. It's a real good read. I definitely recommend. Things I'm watching right now. I'm heavy on Big Brother right now. I'm loving it. I like when it gets when it starts to narrow down to the end. Like, I'm here for it. I watched the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, and it was a lot happening. I'm really interested to see what the end gonna be, as far as what the next seasons will be. I do think some of these things was a lot of it was real cattiness or whatnot. It was a lot. But what I will say is I don't like, what's that man's name? I don't know Drew's husband's name, but I don't like him. And Courtney, you not going to pay me not to believe that they not slapping skins. Go back to the thought of how they were in that dressing room. When Drew's sister trying to go in there, and the way she was up on him, ain't no cousins doing that. Y'all slapping skins. And I think I saw somewhere that she from Tampa. All the more reasons why Drew should have squared up. Because I wish somebody would. So yeah, I'm watching Real Housewives of New York. It's okay. I mean, I watch it. I am committed to watching it every Sunday. But yeah, I mean, it ain't no rat-tat-tat. They got a little bit of drama, but they're going to be all right after that. Now, I did see that Phaedra is supposed to be on Married to Medicine, and I have not ever watched before. Well, I watched a couple episodes. So I am going to tune into that. I don't really care for Phaedra, but I feel like she will probably be a real good addition to Married to Medicine, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a whole thing. So I'm definitely going to tune into that. I forget when that's supposed to start. So we'll chit-chat about, whatever highlights is going on with that. Netflix. I'm watching a whole lot of things as far as Netflix. Like, I'm watching a whole lot. a whole lot. Too much to probably really recommend. There's nothing like pressing that I feel like, oh, you should watch this. I'm just watching a whole lot of things. A lot of things that have several seasons. And so because there's like more than 5 seasons, then of course when something new is coming on, then I'm going to stop it and watch the other one. But I didn't realize that I was going to be into Suits and New Amsterdam real bad like that. But also with New Amsterdam, like it take me through too much. And so I had to pick and choose when I'm going to watch that because my emotions be high. But then I'm also watching The Diplomat, and this giving me like Madam Secretary vibes. Something about the way they talk and they be delivering them lines. It be doing something for me. And then I was just watching Surviving Summer. So it just really depends on like what mood I'm in is for what I'm gonna watch. But there's nothing like I've got to get it done. Now I did finish watching Lincoln Lawyer, which love that. Love. But yeah, Hulu. There's not a whole lot on Hulu. I believe I'm watching right now, and so yeah. Comment in the comments what you watching. Put your girl on per the use. Let me know, was life lifing or are you chilling? Also, feel free to leave in the comments some topics that you want to talk about. And until next time, I'll be back for another Goddess Room chat. Bye now.